And the whole evening was strange because I was very proud that Yes was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. I think the band should have got in the late 80s because the 90125 album, which I wasn't on, an album to be produced by a prog rock band in the mid-80s to be successful had saved the band. That kept the band alive. There wouldn't be a band if it wasn't for that. So I always felt if there was ever a good reason for getting the band inducted in, I think they would have got in then. And I have a view. I think it's so sad that some bands get inducted in so late. You pointed out, no, Chris died 2 years later. If anybody deserved to be at that induction, it was Chris.
Because he kept it alive.
He kept it alive, and he would have been so proud, and rightly so. And that saddened me that he wasn't there. But it's happened with other bands. I mean, The Who, no John Entwistle, no Keith Moon. Deep Purple, no John Lord. You know, and you go, don't wait till the bands are 70 and 80 and about to die. You know, get them in now if they deserve to get in. They've deserved to get in for years and years. But award ceremonies, I find bewildering. I must admit, I like watching award ceremonies. I mean, I watch the Golden Globes and the Oscars, and I watch the Emmys and the BAFTA awards in England. But I'm always bewildered by the speeches. I mean, how many times can somebody thank their mother or their father and Uncle Bert who bought me my first guitar, and then my Auntie Bessie who gave me the money to buy a set of new strings because I didn't have them, and then the guy who owned the garage round the corner of the Leatherstry house? Nobody gives a toss. You know, they really don't. And as for the history of all of the things, all the people in there know it anyway. They voted to get you in.
That was the thing about your acceptance speech. You basically walked up there and did stand-up. It was like a night at the Improv.
Well, blame Trevor.
Trevor Rabin. It was his fault.
Yeah, because and my manager, Brian, and to some extent, my agent, wonderful Larry Maggott. Because we're all sitting at the table, and the speeches were getting unbelievably boring, as they do. And what was noticeable, that people, there's a hum going around the arena because everybody's talking. You know, because nobody's interested in somebody's Uncle Charlie who bought a drumstick or whatever. And I'm sorry, I'm just looking through the window there, and my manager's actually crapping himself. But what happened? We got on stage, and they were just getting more and more, and the hum was getting louder from the audience. And I thought, I'll just go up and say, I'm very proud, thank you, sorry that Chris isn't here, whatever. And then Trev went, go for it. And I said, well, he said, go for it. And he said, go on, do, because they know I do the stand-up in England and all that kind of. I said, no, I'm not known for it over. He said, go on, liven it up. So I walked up, and I thought, well, I can't do a routine. I've got lots of routines because they're all long, you know. So I did a couple of one-liners to start off, and what was quite amazing was it all went sort of quiet, and people laughed, and it was almost like, oh, someone's turned the aircon on. So I was thinking on my feet about what stories and things I could tell that would link that weren't the big long stories I normally do. So I did that, and sort of came off. And it was interesting because people were very kind to me, said some really nice things about it. The New York Daily News said I was irreverent, I think it was, and the New York Times said I should be shot, something like that. But by that time, it didn't matter. It was done and dusted. It was never meant to be irreverent. It was never meant to be discourteous. Very proud that we got in. It was just I was bored shitless, if you'll pardon the expression.
It was time to have fun.